know about you, but at this time of year, after a lovely winter walk, all you want is a nice warm drink. So in this brand new show, we're going to take you to 12 different destinations. We're in search of the perfect cup of tea, so we're going to visit tea shops all across our county, and you're coming with us. Along the way, we shall sample copious amounts of tea and cake. But why are we doing this? To see if anyone serves the perfect tea and scones, of course. Right then, folks, it's time to get serious. And to do that, there's only one place that we could possibly return to. Now, we came here to Northallerton in episode 4 when we visited Betty's, and we weren't very impressed when you consider the cost. And also, you know, the reputation. You expect something special and they just didn't deliver. And on our little walk down to Betty's, we happened to notice Barker's. Now, Barker's is a place which you may well remember from last year's Advent calendar. Kay and I went here to try one of their Christmas dinners, and it was excellent. It is a department store. There's only one of them in the whole country, so it's not a chain. It's a family-run department store. It's been there since 1882, and they've opened a lovely little cafe. It's actually a bistro, and it's just up there at the end of this lovely, it's sort of like Diagon Alley, this little alleyway that we're walking up, but it's just here on the right hand side. And actually we're going to be very fortunate because we're going to be able to get a seat right in the window, and here it is. It's 1882, it's the cafe and bistro, and I think we should head in there. We should order ourselves a cup of tea, and most importantly, a delicious scone.
Very tea shade.
Well, I think what I can say with certainty is we're back on the right track.
Yes.
Yes, most definitely.
Yes.
And also, how lovely to follow in the footsteps of Nana Wendy, who, of course, her boyfriend was the barrow boy for Barker's.
Was he?
Yes, when she lived in Northallerton.
Barrow boy?
In the 50s.
Gosh.
He used to cycle around delivering people's goods.
Yeah.
Because I think back then, I think they were... They sold like food and stuff as well.
Oh, right.
So
it's sort of more like a grocer's.
Yeah,
right.
But well, everything. And also, it's wonderful to go into, you know, we've spoken a few times, haven't we, on different occasions about how the high street is dying, and Barker's, since 1882, that's what was on those cups, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, since 1882, it's been
amazing,
in one
really,
place doing what they do.
Amazing.
So, without further ado, I think, what should we start with?
What should we start with?
I think we should start on a high.
What was it called? Was it just called Barker's Cafe?
It's the 1882 Cafe and Bistro.
Right.
Yes.
Bistro.
Bistro.
Something smelt very fishy when we were walking out.
But that was fine. That was some food that was appearing. It wasn't...
Yeah. No, I don't mean
the place didn't smell fishy.
No. Somebody had just ordered something that was very fishy.
So, let's start with the scone.
It was very nice. I was dubious, I'll be honest, when I saw them, because I thought...
I think when they're out on the side, you're going to pick it up yourself.
Yeah, they were in like a basket, and you just, use some tongs and pick one out. And I must admit, I'd changed my decision. I picked one up, and then I thought, oh no, that one looks better. So I put that one back. With the tongs, I didn't hold it or anything. But it was a good size.
Yes. And what I was impressed with was how it was lovely and soft on the inside. There was no dryness.
No, and that's what kind of bothered me. I thought, oh gosh, is that going to be dry? Because it just, I don't know, it looked like it was sort of crispy on the outside, do you know what I mean?
There wasn't even a hint of dryness.
No, but it was lovely and soft inside. So it had a lovely sort of lightly crispy outside, but then, yeah, it was really nice and soft inside.
And you thought the jam was the best that we've had?
Yeah, well, you got, or you could buy a little pot of jam, and normally they are, I can't think what
Robertsons.
brand. No, they're not normally Robertsons.
Right. Well, whatever they are, you normally don't like them.
No,
right.
It might be. Anyway, this one was Tiptree, and you could have raspberry, strawberry, blackcurrant. And I nearly got the blackcurrant, actually.
For a change.
For a change, but I went for the raspberry. And it was lovely. It was probably the nicest jam that I've had with a scone, and the butter was very nice.
Well, I certainly have no qualms.
You had some of the scone.
With immediately awarding it a star.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And you also had some shortbread, which was excellent.
I did. It was. But of course we can't judge it.
On the shortbread, but that was also really nice.
Excellent start. Star for scone.
Yeah.
Loving it. Tea
was lovely. Yeah, it was really nice. There was white china, although it was a bit of a thicker china.
It was interesting because mine wasn't.
Fine china. No, yours was a bit thinner.
I like.
There was obviously like a bit of mix and matching going on with the teacups, but it was a teacup and you know, saucer and everything, and you got a pot of tea, as you pretty much always do in this country. If you ask for a tea, somebody asked me that one time, saying, "Do you always get a pot of tea when you ask for, you know, tea for one?" And yes, you do. I think I don't know that I've ever been anywhere where they just give you a tea bag in a mug. I can't even imagine that, actually. It's always a teapot. Yeah, it's always a teapot, and sometimes you also get a pot of hot water as well to top it up, which is very nice. But we didn't this time, but that was fine. I still got 2 cups of tea out of it, which is all I would want, to be honest.
I could tell looking at the tea. You can tell by the shade of it.
It was a good colour, you know. It was a nice, strong cup of tea.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was lovely. I'll definitely give it a star.
And well, hold on, love.
What?
I have to give my opinion. And
you don't drink the tea?
I know I don't drink the tea, but it's not just you drinking your tea and your scone and you deciding whether it gets a star or not.
You had the scone too.
Yes, I realised that, but you've just awarded it a star and I haven't even had the opportunity to talk about the hot water I was served.
You didn't. The peppermint wasn't brilliant, was it?
Look.
It was Twinings.
It was Twinings. And it raises an interesting question, because this is something which we found really across the board, and that is that I think the approach to so many people with regards to peppermint is piecemeal. It's not taken seriously.
No, I don't think so.
Because, you know, I left it for a long time.
To brew, you did.
I mashed it loads, it had a good colour, and it tasted like warm water.
Not a lot. It didn't have a lot of taste, no.
I did not give an opinion. I, you know, had a poker face.
You didn't need to. I could tell
I said
what
to
you
Kay,
thought.
I said to Kay, you try it and you let me know what you think. And she said, it does not taste very strong.
No.
Now, I'm not going to fight for the removal of the star, which you've already awarded it, because the quality of the tea was so good. But what I would say to you is, and what I'm learning is, I don't think I can order peppermints in tea shops.
Right. Have you never had a good one?
I'm going to carry on. Well, sometimes they're slightly better than others, but none of them come close to that 3-mint one that we have at home.
No.
And of course, then the absolute top dog is the Booths one. The Booths one, which we spoke about on a recent show, is
down to our last few bags.
Exceptional. Well, we'll go back and we'll buy another 4 packets.
Yeah, we bought four boxes.
It is exceptional. And as I said to Kay, you know, before, what I love so much about peppermint tea is it can go stone cold and you could still drink it and it still be delicious. And I regularly do that, you know. I'll have a cup in the morning and it'll still be there in the afternoon and I'll finish it off because it's delicious. But I'm not going to say removal of star, and the point I think that I'm going to keep analysing is because I'm going to keep trying the peppermint teas in the hope that we find somewhere. But scone, star, tea, you order tea, it's going to be good. And the coffee machines looked good, you know, so I would hope that the coffee was of a reasonable standard. Let's move on to service. Now, they were all very pleasant.
Yes.
And, you know, everyone...
It was very quick. It was somehow a little bit too quick for me, if that's possible.
Yes, it felt...
It was very rapid.
It felt a little...
rushed.
Streamliney. Get them in get them out.
Yeah, it was.
And it's not that type of establishment.
No.
You know, it looks like the type of place where you can, you know, spend a bit of time and sit, but that's not the way we're treated. And also, the people who were working in there weren't half slinging around the cutlery.
Yeah, I mean, we do find this, that when it's kind of like an open kitchen, which more often than not in a cafe it is, isn't it? It's very noisy, they clatter around, you know.
Can I just say, when we had a cup of tea in booths, I heard no clattering.
No, that's true.
But,
yeah,
you know, that's a supermarket.
Yeah, and that was a bigger room, wasn't it? And there was a bit of a distance from the cafe.
Because they clearly thought it through. You know...
Yeah, your tables weren't really close to, you know, the serving area, if you like. No,
we did try and get as far away as we could. And, you know, it's fine. But I would argue that the service, you know, they were very polite, but I wasn't particularly relaxed.
No, I felt a bit kind of stressed.
And the stress was coming from the speed of the service.
Yeah, it was incredibly quick.
So they can't have a Stafford service.
Right, okay.
So we've got 2 out of 3 so far, which is a pretty good effort, I think. Cleanliness.
It's fine, didn't notice anything.
It was absolutely bang on, wasn't it? So, you know, I have a really good look around. Do you notice when we go into places I'm like properly...
I would notice if... I think cleanliness is one of those things, isn't it, that if it's fine, you don't notice anything. It's when it's not fine that it just glares at you, you know, that table's dirty, or what's that on the floor, or, you know, whatever. Yeah. So, yeah.
So I think there can be no argument at all that it definitely gets a star. And finally, we move on to price. And it was just under £10.
Just over £10.
Oh, was it?
Oh, no, it was just under £10, yes. Yes, £9.90 or something.
And I think when you're talking about the price, you're taking everything into consideration, aren't you? And the thing which I think needs mentioning about Barker's is it has a really nice ambiance. Because it is, as you saw when we were arriving there at the start, you are looking out onto that lovely alleyway, which Kay said, you know, it reminds you of... you know, one of the posh Victorian alleyways in London, or Diagon Alley from Harry Potter. It has a real festive, lovely feel about it.
And they do string lights at Christmas, which is really lovely.
You said when we were sat there, really good for people watching, because you got people walking past all the time.
I'm not much of a people watcher, to be honest.
No, me neither, but loads of people are.
I generally don't notice anything. But
loads of people are. So, you know, it was extremely pleasant being able to sit there. And, you know, I would argue that some places you pay a premium for the privilege of sitting in an environment like that. So, you know, whilst it's not the cheapest that we've had, it's not the most expensive. The tea was excellent.
Yeah, I'd definitely go back.
I think we have most definitely found in Northallerton, until we find anywhere better, which I don't think we're going to find, that would be the place I'd go to.
I would go, to be honest, if I wanted a cup of tea and a scone, I would go there over Betty's, if
we
I'm
said,
honest.
Didn't we? We said that scone was better than Betty's.
Yeah, because although the scone was fine in Betty's, but they're tiny, you know, and
it was a bit dry.
It was a bit, it was a bit dry. I don't know.
Too crisp. Maybe because it's small.
It was a lot more expensive, obviously, in Betty's as well.
And historically, if we're in Northallerton, we would go to Betty's. Well, no longer. Barker's has won our business.
Yeah,
and
I would.
Not only that, it's not 5 stars, but it's 4. Because it's most certainly got its star for cost. Yeah. So we're back up to where we were at the start of the year.
Right.
So, you know, we've had a few really bad ones.
Up and down and back up again.
We've had a few really bad ones, but, you know, Barker's has absolutely seen us through. And I'm excited about what the future holds now, because we've got Barnard Castle. Right. And all the amazing looking tea rooms that Bryony and I spotted when we went for a day out there. So that, I think, will be our next port of call. But we also thought of somewhere else, didn't we? We spoke recently, crumbs, I can't remember where it was now, but suddenly lots have started to appear. And that has really made me sort of stop and think about this whole process that we've done. And I'm so glad we've done it.
Yeah, I'm glad we've done it.
Because historically, you sit within your comfort zone.
You stay in your comfort zone, and this has made us go out of that and you find things, don't you, that you don't expect.
And I'm convinced we have to, in all the places that we'll visit by the end of the year, there must be one which stands out as an absolute diamond. And I don't think we've found one yet.
Right.
I think we've found lots of places which we would go to, but I want to go into one and I want to come out going, oh my goodness, we have got to go back there. That's what you want.
I like to find places where I would think I would take any of you there.
Yes.
And I would definitely take any of you to Boggers, where we've just been.
But do you know what I would do? I'd go upstairs. Because I noticed...
Could you have gone upstairs?
You can go upstairs.
Right.
And not only that, they have a huge glass balcony which looks down onto the walkway underneath.
Is that where we sat and had lunch one time? Is that the same area?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes.
I didn't realise you could go up there.
You can go up there.
Right, okay. That is nice.
So I would take you upstairs. Although the downstairs is perfectly pleasant, you know, for that little bit more, you know,
it's just,
specialness.
It was just a bit noisy and a bit clattery, you know. Like Dan said, cutlery being thrown around, coffee machine not perking, the frothy thing.
But the bottom line is, we've got 4 stars out of 5. We're back in some quality places, and I'm excited about our next visit. So we will see you then.